5 research projects. The first one, the sedentary life. The World Health Organization states that at least 60% of the world's population does not perform the physical activity necessary to obtain health benefits. This is partly due to insufficient participation in physical activity during leisure time and increase in sedentary behaviors during work and domestic activities. The human body is made to move, so sedentary life should be the new challenge to beat in this century, since the lack of physical activity is a clear enemy to health. It increases obesity, overweight, cholesterol, or diabetes. At least 26 chronic and frequent diseases of our society can be cured or prevented by performing exercise, and in addition it is a part of their treatment. Also, lack of movement can alter some of the neurotransmitters that occur in the nervous system. Therefore, it will increase anxiety, depression, or stress. Performing regular and systematic physical activity has proven beneficial to the body, and why improving health helps when making decisions or character. Performing moderate physical exercise reduces both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Type 2 diabetes can be solved many times by controlling weight, by exercise, and improves the quality of life. With activity and movement, a series of beneficial effects for the health are obtained, but also the diet is important since there are no bad or good foods, but an abusive or deficient consumption of the same, properly selecting food, and very change before exercise helps optimize sports performance, facilitates proper recovery, and prevents injuries. For people who spend many hours sitting at work, it may be difficult for them to establish a complete exercise routine. Therefore, try to incorporate small physical activities in the work. Some ideas will be to get off from time to go for something, or even if there is not an excessively large distance, you could go back and forth from work. Diabetes. In the world, there are more than 347 million people with diabetes. Diabetes is expected to turn into the seventh world cause of death in 2030. 30 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity almost every day and a healthy diet can drastically reduce the risk of developing type 2 and type 1. The glucose we get from food is a source of energy for our body, and we need insulin to be able to absorb it properly. Insulin is an hormone made by pancreas that allows glucose to penetrate the cells to take advantage of it. Diabetes is due to the lack of insulin secretion by the pancreas or the decrease in its effect. Since this hormone has the mission of transforming carbohydrates in food into energy, its effect causes an increase in blood sugar. The pancreas of people with diabetes doesn't not produce insulin, or the body has resistance to the action of this hormone, so that glucose doesn't enter the cells and stays in the blood, where its level increases. The symptoms: excessive urine output, fatigue, excessive thirst, and involuntary weight loss. Heart conditions. Obesity is a term that means you weigh at least 20% more than what is considered a normal weight for your height. It makes you more likely to have conditions including heart disease and stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, some cancers, gallbladder disease, gallstones, osteoarthritis, gout, breathing problems such as sleep apnea, when a person stops breathing for short episodes during sleep, and asthma. Heart Heart disease describes a range of diseases that affect the heart. Diseases classified as heart disease include diseases of the blood vessels, such as coronary artery disease, heart rhythm problems, and heart defects with which you were born. The term heart disease is often used intercambiably with the term cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease often refers to diseases that involve a narrowing or blockage of blood vessels that can cause a heart attack, chest pain, or stroke. Other heart diseases, such as those that affect the muscles, valves, or heart rhythm, are also considered forms of heart disease. Obesity is a treatable chronic disease that appears when there is an excess of adipose tissue, fat in the body. Experts warn that its most negative effects occur because it acts as an agent that accentuates and aggravates serious pathologies such as diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular complications, especially ischemic heart disease, and even some more clearly in the short term, types of cancer such as gastrointestinal. The causes of obesity are multiple. In addition to poor diet or lack of physical exercise, there are also genetic or organic factors that induce its appearance. Other aspects that must be taken into account are the existence of diseases that may favor obesity to manifest itself. In addition, some drug treatments, lack of sleep, or quitting smoking are also risk factors of obesity. Finally, stress or stages such as menopause or after giving birth can coincide with a weight gain that, if left untreated, can end up causing obesity. The symptoms: the accumulation of excess fat under the diaphragm and in the chest wall can put pressure on the lungs, causing difficulty breathing and choking, even with minimal effort. Difficulty in breathing can severely interfere with sleep, causing momentary breathing to stop, which causes daytime sleepiness and other complications. High blood pressure. According to World Health Organization, complications of hypertension cause 9.4 million deaths annually. Hypertension is the cause of at least 45% of deaths from heart disease and 51% of deaths from stroke. Hypertension can be prevented by modifying risk factors related to behaviors such as unhealthy diet, the harmful use of alcohol, or physical inactivity. Tobacco can increase the risk of complications of hypertension. High blood pressure is a common disease in which the force exerted by blood against the walls of the arteries over time is high enough to cause health problems such as heart disease. Blood pressure is determined both by the amount of blood your heart pumps and the degree of resistance to blood flow in your arteries. The more blood your heart pumps and the narrower your arteries are, the higher the blood pressure will be. High blood pressure usually develops over many years and ultimately affects almost everyone. Fortunately, high blood pressure can be easily detected, and once you know you have high blood pressure, you can work with your doctor to control it. Change people's mind with technology. Sedentary life, changing the mentality of people is essential. For this, using the technology that currently exists will help. With exercise equipment, people who have sedentary life can exercise to improve their physical condition, strength in their body, and endurance in the parks. The government has put exercise equipment such as elliptical bikes, climbers, treadmills, so that people can exercise in outdoor places and with green areas. Sports are very important to perform them we can get benefits in our health. In people with obesity will help them lose weight by combining with a balanced diet. The sports that can help are athletics, tennis, basketball, swimming, or just hiking. There are gyms where our training instructor can do exercise and routines in a given period. People who for some reason cannot go to a gym or parks can exercise at home using a technology currently available on the internet using applications that can that help exercise such as lizards, squats, and so on. All the exercise recommendations should be accompanied by a healthy, balanced diet that a doctor can give since each person is different. Diabetes technology and scientific advance in medicines change the mentality of people in seeking support with doctors who treat the disease with existing medications in the market. The result of scientific advance in the medical field which help regulate the diabetes so that they don't present symptoms as excessive production of urination, tiredness, excessive thirst, involuntary weight loss. Since it is a disease that is not cured but it can lead to a good quality of life if it is treated in time with these medications in addition to maintaining a healthy diet and do sports. The development of new devices against diabetes is a determining factor in the fight against this chronic degenerative disease, from blood pressure meters without needles to a device that mimics the functions of the pancreas. Heart conditions. Hospitals have medical devices for checking blood pressure, weight, and cholesterol levels. Depending on how your results come out, they will give you a receipt on how to take care of yourself. Healthily avoid smoking or drinking alcoholic beverage. They also have a cardiac tomography imaging study where patients with a high level of coronary artery risk can be told if there are diseases in the coronary arteries before even symptoms develop. With the advances in technology, we have tools with which we can detect cardiovascular diseases with a very acceptable accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity. In the year of sound, the role of three-dimensional ultrasound in the characterization of the hair for surgeries and implants stands out. On the other hand, within the image, he mentioned magnetic resonance as determinants in surgical procedures, particularly those specialists in correcting congenital features. Similarly, in cardiac intervention, he mentioned that the development of valves for implants inside the heart have prevented cardiovascular diseases in patients with moderate or high surgical risk. Finally, he pointed out that in electrophysiology, mapping systems and ablation techniques can contribute to significantly reduce the incidence of arrhythmias. Obesity. Many devices are still in the experimental stage and will be useful to record how many minutes you exercise daily, how much food is consumed, and even if you attend a fast food trade when you should be in a park. These devices will show concrete and objective data, therefore they will be more reliable than the very word for individuals affected by overweight or obesity who under-register their food consumption and involuntarily masked by many situations. New systems, much more sophisticated than the current ones, intend to provide feedback on captured data at the moment. Some even include video cameras. The highest of aspiration is the idea of offering a personalized treatment according to the data collected by new devices in creation. In Los Angeles, two overweight teenagers these devices while performing different tasks, with this located on the breast, which allows them to collect data on their heart rate, stress level, and amount of physical activity. Then, then say data is sent to the mobile phone. On the other hand, at the University of Southern California, tests are done with teenagers who alternate with their status between active and sedentary. In the future, it is intended to send them to your home, and every time they set the downtime, the devices will send a text message notifying you that it is time to move. Accelerometers, mobile phones with Bluetooth, and even cameras that capture food data are some of the new technologies that allow advancements to fight obesity. In Louisiana, a system was implemented that by means of photos captured with a mobile before and after, having eaten each of the dishes, which allows to know the caloric consumption of each individual. In addition, they carry in their shoes a device that accounts the steps taken. Hypertension increasing the burden of chronic diseases in medium and low-income countries and high cost they represent has raised interest in developing new prevention strategies using new technologies that help the treatment of patients with hypertension. In prevention, it set the standard of continuing to insist that exercise and losing weight will cease to have a less risk of developing hypertension. With technology in the treatment of hypertension, much has been supported by the information provided on the Internet, which can be of great help in informing the population about the disease. New technological advances in the treatment of hypertension have generated new treatments that are options of being able to treat hypertension. This is done in order to avoid chronic diseases and complications caused by hypertension, such as heart and brain factions and damage renal. With the technological advance, it has been possible to use remote telemedicine, a support medium for specialists that can reach rural areas where they do not have modern devices to diagnose and treat hypertension. Currently, the portable digital blood pressure meters, which any patient can use and keep track of their blood pressure figures, are easily accessible to the public. The technology has been a great help in the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of hypertension, whose objective is to prevent complications and nearly death of people. The future in society, if we implement technological advances, we can improve people's health in the future. Go to a clinic with a doctor to do a medical checkup and find out how you are doing. The devices are very important, so they check your weight, pressure, cholesterol, and your caloric intake. The recommendations are to have a balanced diet, exercise, drink water, and check the results of complaint with the treatments assigned by the doctor. We will be a society without problems of this size, such as sedentary life, diabetes, heart condition, obesity, and hypertension. We will have the culture that schools teach children how to eat healthily and know the causes and consequences of what it would be like if we don't have a healthy life. Also implement in the schools a store where they sell healthy food and no junk food, so that in the future we can improve people's quality of life. Have control with the consumption of tobacco and alcohol, because it would affect your reproductive system. In the case of Mexico, we are a country with more people suffering from obesity. We have to change the eating habit, play sports, and eat healthy. An example that we can learn is in Europe, since they avoid using cars to take care of the environment. They implement running and bicycle tracks so that people have physical activity and don't have a sedentary life. The detractors are not sure if the results are effective through science because they think it will not change their aspect of health, prefer to have a sedentary life and not try the recommendation like doctor prescribes. That they don't know is that if they are not taking care of them, they can cause health problems such as overpressure and diabetes. Symptoms such as fatigue, high blood pressure, and heart problems due to high blood sugar. The clinics are responsible for guiding people to eat healthy and sports activities to prevent certain diseases. The research is effective since it was taken from experts and hospitals recognized for their attention to patients. Scientists recommend taking medication to regulate diabetes and not getting worse, as well as having a healthy diet. For people who don't want to meet any of the doctor's recommendations, we will offer them training and provide brochures so that they know the cause and consequences of the disease.